in, let me in. I'm grateful, oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable. Let me in, let me know me, yeah, I got only a path, I'm lonely.
Hello Pickles, this is my voice reveal, and I want you guys to be very nice in the comments because this took a lot of courage to do. I guess this is my voice reveal, so yeah, so I decided to make Lamar and David's background David. I know it was cringy. I came up with it last minute. But this is gonna be my voice reveal, and I'm also gonna do some voiceover. Please forgive me for the cringiness, but let's get into it, I guess. Is that how you do it? Oh god, I'm so cringy. Okay, here we go. Make sure to be really nice in the comments because I'm really self-conscious. I might even turn them off, actually. I don't want to hear what you have to say about my voice because I know they're going to be bad. I'm sorry if I mess up. I wanted to post it on the community tab, but it wouldn't let me because I think there's a character limit, but this will explain the picture on the screen right now. So, yeah, let's get into it. David was in a school, and he was actually the bad boy. I know, hard to believe, but it's true. It was the middle of sophomore year in high school. Today they were supposed to be a foreign exchange student, coming from London. They were a nerd, always stuffing their head in books and would never dare to break a rule. When he was introduced as Lamar Martins, so after everyone introduced himself, it was David's turn, and he said, "Sup, I'm David, and yeah, don't mess with me unless you want to end up like that kid." Lamar was definitely scared when the kid immediately ran away screaming sorry. Apparently, David threw a freshman's head into a locker. His parents are tired of his behavior and sent him off to an apartment. At that time, gays and lesbians, especially bisexual, were not treated right at all. Well, they still aren't, but it's better. Let's skip a year. So we are now in junior year. Lamar came back, and David and Lamar became friends. When Lamar tried talking about girls, David became uncomfortable, and he said, "But please don't tell anyone this. Listen, you're my best friend. I trust you, Lamar, so don't break it. For some reason, I don't like girls." That's the end of this convo. Change the subject before I bash your head. In the past, Lamar was David's punching bag. Sounds a little familiar. Every morning he would steal his money, press him against the locker, all the cliches. Lamar became shocked and scared. So he said how he felt. He didn't know what to do, so David explained that his parents were gay. Lamar was taught to hate gay people, to violate their rights. Lamar shouted, "That's disgusting! Can't believe I was friends with you!" Deep down, Lamar regretted his words, but he was only listening to his parents. He asked his parents why God hated gays. And after that, he was whipped 57 times. His back was bleeding as every whip. His father lectured him on why gays are sins when they're really not. That day, David did something horrible to him during lunch. David came up behind him and started strangling him. He was so angry and confused. The man he trusted called him disgusting. His friend took him into the bathroom stall, gave him a swirly, and said some racial slurs to him. In the long run, they made up due to David needing a tutor. That tutor was Lamar, and Lamar took revenge by making it long and boring as possible, and every time he fell asleep, he would stick his finger in his mouth, swirling it around in his saliva and sticking it into his ear, giving him a wet willy. David did not like that. Over the next months, David started developing feelings for him. He became soft and nice around him. Lamar felt something. He was actually getting worried about not finding any girls attractive. He couldn't even see himself with a girl at all. One night when Lamar was helping him study for the SAT coming up, all of a sudden David closed the book. Lamar became shy. At that moment, Lamar started becoming flustered, his heart pounding. That night was special because they had their first kiss. It didn't last long. Lamar broke down, confused, after asking David what the heck was wrong with him. He asked dozens of questions, and then finally they exchanged feelings with each other. After that, everything changed. They started to hang out so much more. They would hide with each other, eat lunch together. No one knew what was happening. Fast forward 2 weeks later, they were both still in the closet. And Lamar still clueless of his sexuality. And David planned not to come out until people were more accepting. David was more dominant in the fling they had due to his status at the school. Over time, David became a better person. Lamar helped him change. David had some anger issues, still does, but Lamar made him lose them. He helped him manage them and helped his mind at ease. Soon, Lamar started getting thoughts a man should have for a woman at that time, but it was a man. Lamar had a mental breakdown in his dorm for Orange exchange students. Looking up dozens of articles, he comes across the L.G.B.T.Q+. After he reads it, his eyes filled with fear of what his parents would say. After more time reading dozens of stories and articles, the risks and feelings, he said quietly to himself, I'm gay. I'm gay. No. It's just a phase. You can get over it. Then why hasn't it gone away? He questioned himself that night. Lamar told David, trusting him, and found out he was gay himself. David actually had a hate for super male clothes, like the more he had an eye for a more feminine look, but never really wore those stuff. Over time, Lamar's feelings grew, and David helped him accept himself for who he was. Another 2 weeks later, Lamar called David over. He made sure no one was home. As he led him into his room, David became hesitant. They sat down, and Lamar bursted out, asking him to be his boyfriend. David was hesitating but teared up, saying yes to him. That night, Lamar declared who the man was. Cough him! By making the move on him and made out for a few minutes. Until his roommates came home, they immediately stopped and they immediately got on the floor, taking some stuff out of the closet, looking like it was a session for tutoring. From then on out, they would meet every morning, telling them how much they missed each other and would hug and just everything. When school came to an end, Lamar had to leave back to London. David was absolutely devastated. They met at the airport with Lamar's parents there waiting for him. David started to cry, trying to talk as manly as he could, but he couldn't. The man he loved had to leave him. Lamar frowned and asked his parents if they could speak in private. When they said yes, Lamar grabbed his hand, pulling him into a blind spot, pinning him to the wall. Lamar became being secretly stronger. He picked him up, wrapping his legs around his waist, kissing him for the last time for a while. The kiss felt like hours. Tears fell down as David and Lamar said goodbye. They talked every day during the summer. David's parents were happy when he told them he had a boyfriend. Fast forward 2 months, it was back to school shopping. David's parents and David were at the store and saw the sign. Fast forward 2 months, it was back to school shopping. David's parents and David were at the store and saw the sign. David took a deep breath. When David saw the sign, he became so excited to see him again. Fast forwarding again to school starting. I'm sorry. Lamar saw David, and David immediately rushed to him, jumping in his arms. Lamar hugged him tight and asked him out to catch up. Lamar introduced himself to David's dads. They gave them their consent to keep this relationship with David. They always tried to go on lots of dates, kissed often without getting caught, but eventually they did. Guys, I'm so sorry for what's about to happen, but it's the truth. Lamar was shoved off him. David was pushed into the locker, being called homophobic slurs and horrible names. Lamar wanted to help, but couldn't risk being sent back to London. David and Lamar were beaten, and David got stabbed. When David decided to visit his parents, telling them everything, they comforted him and said, could have been way worse. So after a few more months in school, things got worse. The secret was out that David and Lamar were homosexuals. David lost his status. No one wanted to be around them. People would throw food at them, calling them names. David couldn't take it. His family got harassed enough, and soon Lamar's parents will find out. 2 weeks later, David asked for a break. David got his status back. Lamar was in the bottom again, just a regular nerd. Lamar became emotionally torn. He cried himself to sleep for 3 weeks straight. No sleep. His grades started to drop to a C+. If it dropped any more, he would no longer be able to stay. A week later, David walked past him, Lamar tripping him. He and his friends laughed as he joked, "Can't believe I dated him. What if..." After that, Lamar became angry, holding it down. He stormed to the library and read some books to calm his nerves. David walked into the library looking for a book to plagiarize off of. Still going the easy route? I don't know what you're talking about. Lamar sighed and chuckled to himself. He got up, going over to him, backing him up, his fist clenched tight in anger, throwing the book down. What happened to you? Where's the boy that I once loved? Maybe? I'm honestly confused now. What happened to all the words that we said, huh? Or were they just a myth? Nothing to be happening. Where's the boy that I changed into a good boy? David replied with hurtful words, lying to himself. It was fake. None of it was real. You got it through your smart head. David shoves him as Lamar holds his place. He pulls him into a blind spot, slamming him to the wall, covering his mouth. He looks up at him in rage, burning through his eyes. David stays calm as Lamar tightens his grip, making one of David's eyes close. He finally lets his guard down and Lamar lets go, saying, I won again. David couldn't help but turn flustered, showing feelings for him that he held back. Lamar kissed him as David slowly started tearing up, kissing him back. After that day, they secretly got back together in the dark. In public, David treated him terribly socially, but always said sorry. It was now the end of the year. It was time for Lamar to leave. David broke down, saying sorry for everything, how much he regretted it. This would be the last time he saw him, as they graduated high school, David kissed him right there in public before he left. People glaring them down in disgust. People whispered. Others supported as Lamar left. David became depressed when the calls and texts became less and less frequent. David was walking along as he took out his phone and decided to give him a call. David just started saying hi. Nothing to say, just hi. It was awkward, but they started catching up. Then David said, "What if I bought tickets to London?" Lamar agreed and told him how he had to act in front of his parents. A few weeks later, he left for London excited. The plane was long, but he finally landed. As his heart started beating, he ran off the plane. He was greeted by Lamar with flowers in his hands. "Welcome to London, darling." They kissed and hugged and didn't let go of each other. Those 2 weeks were amazing to them. Lamar took him to the best spots, danced with him, and just did everything. Lamar started getting ideas of proposing. It was time for David to leave. They said goodbye, and he left. 3 months later, Lamar went back to America. David met him at the gates as his stay was a one-way ticket. Lamar became a citizen and bought an apartment. He met up with his parents and set it up. David was blindfolded as they went to the spot. His parents took the blindfold off and left. Lamar got down on one knee and proposed. And David immediately said yes at the top of his lungs, screaming it like it was passion, and it was everything. The moment was perfect. Everything felt right to them. They were engaged for 3 years because Lamar forced David to go to college. Good job, Lamar. When they got married, their life was simple. They made love, went on dates, said their vows 1 time a week, watched a movie, and Lamar became a businessman while David became a construction worker. And Lamar pampered him for it. But in the end, David and Lamar were financially stable. Then they started talking about having a family. 1 year later, they were excited. Then the next year later, they tried for one, getting tested to find out a heartbreaking truth. David and Lamar's cells were corrupted, meaning none of them could produce a strong enough cell to survive long enough. David was not able to because of his donor mom drinking behind his parents' back. Lamar was not able to because he picked up his aunt's gene. Another year later, they found Xavier. And that is how Lamar and David met. The end! And that right there is a crappy cliche of how Lamar and David became lavid. And this also explains this edit that's somewhat okay. So, yeah, ta-da! And that right there is how Trapped in a Loop now comes in. The prologue. So, yeah. Hope you guys liked it. And I'm sorry for my horrible voice acting. Anyways, yeah, that's it. That's my voiceover. Thanks for watching. Or listening, I guess. I'm sorry if this video is long. This is my first time doing a voiceover with people really watching. I've done them before and I was okay, but I'm a little rusty right now, so I'm kind of embarrassed. But, yeah. That was how Lamar and David became married. And met. Pretty cliche, huh? Oh, one more thing. I forgot something. I just want to say really quick how grateful I am to you guys. Thank you so much for 10K. I'm sorry it took so long with the special. I was really overwhelmed, and I was going through some stuff, and it just took a while because I had no motivation. I didn't know what I was doing. But I'm back on my feet. Episode 3 will come out. I'm sorry I'm taking so long. I'm sorry I'm making you guys wait. I'm just so happy that you guys got me to 10K, and you don't understand how much I love you, Pickles. You guys are my Pickles, and I love Pickles, and that's why I call you Pickles, because I love them so much, because that's how much you guys mean to me. Thank you so much for 10K. I'm so happy. Thank you for 11K. Thank you for 10K. Thank you for almost 12K. 12,000 subscribers almost. I'm sorry. No. Okay, we're done. We're done here. Cut. Just cut it off. So, I guess this is my voice reveal. I really want you Pickles, to be very... Oh, frick. Okay, take 2. Wait. What? Okay, I want you guys to be very nice in the comments because I'm very self-conscious. David was in a school. I can't. David was in a... Oh my gosh. David was in a school, and he was actually the bad boy. I know, hard to believe, but it's true. I was the... Bang my head against the wall. David was in a school, and he was actually the bad boy. I know, hard to believe, but it's true. It was the middle of the school year. I'm gonna go jump out of a window now. His friend took him into the bathroom, stole... What the... Stole, gave him a swirly, and said some racist slurs to him. In the long run, they made up due to David during... Oh no. That's not good. Pause. Let me just trim that part out. Can I trim it? Lamar had a mind... Oh no. David was hesitating, but teared up, saying yes to him. That night, Lamar declared who the man was. Him. Oh, sorry, I must have a frog in my throat. God. David took a deep breath and threw himself in front of the car, instantly killing him. The end! Oh, dang it, my dog. So after a few months, I'm gonna wait for that to stop. Just gonna wait. I'm gonna tell him to shush. Hey, come on, I'm recording. That worked. Oh, frick. What if I bought tickets to London? Lamar agreed and told him how... Oh, frick, I gotta pee. I just said that on camera. Whoops. A few weeks later, he left for London, excited. The plane was long, but he finally landed as his heart started beating. He ran off the plane. He was greeted by Lamar with flowers in his hands. Welcome to London, darling. They kissed and hugged and didn't let go of each other. Oh, let me try that again. The plane was long, but he finally landed. As his heart started beating, he ran off the plane. He was greeted by Lamar with flowers in his hand. "Welcome to London, darling." Oh, ew!